All right, everyone. So this is Aircars for the Atari Jaguar, published by Midnight Entertainment. Now, if you never really heard of this game or even Midnight Entertainment before, well, let's just say they kind of closed their doors by the time this game was nearly finished, and they basically released this game for the most part unfinished. And what do I mean by that? Well, there's actually two different versions of this game, and the version I have, I believe, is supposed to be version 1. There is like a version 2 or like a second iteration of this where the HUD display, what you're looking at on the bottom, is actually slightly different. But by the time this game was pretty much nearly finished, the company was basically on the verge of closing. So to basically get some sales in, well, they basically released the game in a state that, well, let's just say was incomplete. And when I say incomplete, I mean that it's basically taken the insert that's inside the box where the cartridge holds in place, puts the manual on top of it, shrink wraps it, and that's how it was sold. There was no official box ever made for this game. Now, technically I do have one, but that's more like a fan-made version of it. Years ago, I was on the Atari Age forums, and some random guy made a box art with the overlay, and I decided to just buy one just to have a box for it. Why not? There was no official box for it, and I decided to just get it, and here we are today. So let's go ahead and get this started. So basically what this game is kind of like I don't want to say a first-person shooter, because you're basically piloting an air car, and essentially you have objectives to basically destroy certain objectives for each mission. And that's pretty much what the game is. Now, there are multiplayer on this, so theoretically you can have multiple people. You can actually go up to 8 players connected. Now, to be fair, trying to find like 8 other people with a Jaguar, let alone this game, and all of the hookups, that's going to be a little difficult. So for now, we're just going to do single player. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go to the first mission. So these are the primary targets I need to get. So satellite dish, control tower, and radio station.
Target destroyed. Reactive armor installed.
Of course, I got my little mini map below, but I'm just going to go and try to we got a satellite.
Target destroyed.
So basically, this is essentially what I'm doing is I'm going around trying to find these different objectives to destroy.
Armor repaired.
And there's obviously going to be other enemies that I have to avoid
Destroyed.
or take out.
Primary target destroyed. Target destroyed. Target destroyed. Rocket launcher installed.
Now, one thing I will say about this game is that for a 3D based Jaguar, oh wow, I'm really getting killed there. For a 3D based Jaguar game, you have to remember too, this is a console that was released back in 1993.
Target destroyed. Ammo acquired.
So the fact that the game even runs this smoothly is actually pretty amazing when you think about it.
Target destroyed. Tank cannon installed.
Now, if you notice on the top of the screen where there's a little arrow there, that's basically pointing towards the next closest objective that I need to go to.
Primary target destroyed. Machine gun installed. Target destroyed. Target destroyed. Primary target destroyed. Primary target destroyed.
And for like an early 90s base game, these maps are actually pretty large, honestly.
Target destroyed. Ammo acquired. Target destroyed. Mauser cannon installed.
And yes, I am using the Pro controller to play this. And it just helps the...
Primary target destroyed.
When it comes to the controls,
Ammo
it just
acquired.
makes it easier to play.
Target destroyed.
Now, I think I've pretty much gotten everything, so I just need to go to the exit and get out of here. Is it this? Yep. Yay! I beat the mission! So those are the primary targets I need to go to. And do it all over. And I died. So now,
Target destroyed. Rocket launcher installed. Primary target destroyed. Primary target destroyed.
and I died again. By the way, this game does actually get pretty hard. Pretty quickly, actually. One thing, too, is that on the controller, if I press the option, I can... Who is shooting me? Holy crap.
Target destroyed.
Just getting blasted here. Holy crap. But when you press the option button, it gives you two different camera settings. So, and I get killed. So basically, this is like the default, and then if I press option, I can have the camera tilt like this. So this is primarily going to be more of how the Aircars are supposed to handle. But, you know, at least they were nice enough to basically give you two different options for this, because I'm pretty sure, at least at the time, someone trying to play the game like this might get a little dizzy, honestly. And at least for me personally, this actually does get me pretty dizzy. But it is kind of a cool effect, nonetheless. So I'm going to go and try to see if I can get one of the objectives.
Primary target destroyed. Target destroyed. Primary target destroyed. Primary target destroyed.
Probably, yeah, I'm dead. But yeah, that's essentially what this game is all about, honestly. Now, is this really a game really worth getting? If you're looking to like complete a collection, I would say yes, go ahead. This is not a cheap game, honestly. And one thing too, I will say, in terms of like 3D based games for the system, this is actually one of the better ones. Even though it is a more simple type of game, basically the game would just tell you, hey, destroy these objects or these objectives,
Target destroyed.
and they throw you into the map. You go around, follow the arrow, but it is what I like to call dumb fun. So, you know, it's not really like a series type game. It is pretty simple, but it is still pretty fun. Now, is it spending several $100s fun? That's for you to decide. I don't think it's worth spending hundreds of dollars on this game, honestly. But if you are able to play this through an emulator these days, I would say yes, go ahead and try to check this game out. But yeah, that's Aircars for the Atari Jaguar. Kind of a different type of game for this console, but nonetheless, still pretty fun. So I'll end it here. Like always, have a good one.